Hello, hello, my amazing English learners. Welcome back to Hidden Pages. You are doing absolutely wonderfully. You know how to talk about your daily routines, past finished actions, future plans, and what's happening right now. That's fantastic progress. Now, what if you want to talk about something that was happening at a specific moment in the past? For example, I was sleeping at 8 p.m. yesterday, or she was watching TV when I called. You need a special grammar rule for this. Today's lesson is super important. We're going to learn about the past continuous tense. What is the past continuous tense? It's the English grammar rule we use to talk about actions in progress at a specific time in the past. What someone was doing at a particular moment. Like, at 9 a.m. yesterday, I was studying. An ongoing past action that was interrupted by another action. Like, I was cooking when the phone rang. Two actions happening at the same time in the past. Like, while he was reading, she was watching TV. Don't worry. We will learn the past continuous tense in super easy English, with many clear examples. You will learn how to make positive sentences. I was eating. Negative sentences. I was not eating. Questions. Were you eating? Are you ready to tell more detailed stories about the past in English? Let's dive in. Past continuous tense. What were you doing? Easy English grammar. A 1. What is the past continuous tense? Your past moment. Tense. The past continuous tense is like your past moment button for verbs. You use it for actions that were happening at a certain time in the past. At 7 a.m. yesterday, I was eating breakfast. At that exact moment, this action was in progress. You were sleeping at midnight. They were watching TV when I arrived. Two actions happening at the same time in the past, often used with while. While I was cooking, my brother was playing games. She was reading a book while he was listening to music. Important difference: simple past versus past. Continuous. Simple past. For finished actions in the past. I ate breakfast at 7 a.m. It's finished. Past continuous. For actions in progress at a specific past time. At 7 a.m., I was eating breakfast. I was still in the middle of it. Let's learn how to make sentences in the past continuous tense. Part 1. Positive sentences. Saying what was happening. This is how you say what people were doing or what was happening in the past. Rule. Subject plus was, were plus, verbing I, he, she, it, and singular nouns like my mom, the dog, always use was. I was listening to music. He was reading a book. She was eating dinner. It, the rain, was falling. My mom was cooking. You, we, they, and plural nouns like students, birds, always use were. You were learning English. We were watching TV. They were playing outside. Students were studying. How to make ing form. Just add ing to the base verb. Remember from present continuous? Walk, walking eat, eating study, studying write, writing, droppy, run, running, double consonant. Many common verb examples, positive sentences. Read. I was reading a book. He was reading the newspaper. Write. You were writing a letter. She was writing in her notebook. Listen. We were listening to the radio. They were listening to the teacher. Watch. I was watching TV. He was watching a movie. Eat. You were eating an apple. She was eating lunch. Sleep. My baby was sleeping. The cat was sleeping. Work. We were working on a project. My dad was working late. Study. I was studying English. He was studying for an exam. Play. They were playing games. The children were playing outside. Talk. You were talking to me. She was talking on the phone. Practice tip for positive sentences. Think about a specific time yesterday, e.g., 8 p.m. Say what you were doing at that time. At 8 p.m. last night, I was watching TV. At 10 a.m., I was working. Describe what someone else was doing at a past moment. Part 2. Negative sentences, saying what was not happening. This is how you say what people were not doing or what was not happening in the past. We just add not after was or were. Rule: subject plus was, were plus not, plus verb-ing contractions, short forms: was not, wasn't, were not, weren't, I was not, wasn't, listening to music, he wasn't reading a book, she wasn't eating dinner, the rain, wasn't falling, you were not, weren't, learning French, we weren't watching TV, they weren't playing outside. Many common verb examples. Negative sentences. Read: I wasn't reading a book. He wasn't reading the newspaper. Write: you weren't writing a letter. She wasn't writing in her notebook. Listen: we weren't listening to the radio. They weren't listening to music. Watch: I wasn't watching TV. He wasn't watching a movie. Practice tip for negative sentences. Think of things you weren't doing at a specific time yesterday. At 7 p.m., I wasn't cooking. I wasn't sleeping at noon. Think of what someone else wasn't doing. My friend wasn't working yesterday evening. Part 3. Questions. Asking about the past and progress. This is how you ask if something was happening at a specific time in the past. We put was or were at the beginning of the question. Rule: was, were, plus subject plus. Verbing: was I talking too fast? Was he reading a book? Was she eating dinner? Was it raining? Were you learning English? Were we watching TV? Were they playing outside? Connecting to question words. You can also add question words at the beginning. Remember? What were you doing yesterday at 6 p.m.? Why was he smiling? Where were they going? When was she sleeping? How was he feeling? Many common verb examples. Questions. Watch: were you watching the game? Study: was he studying English? Go: were you going to the party? Eat: was she eating lunch? Sleep: was the baby sleeping? Work: were they working? Play: were the children playing? Practice. Tip for questions. Ask yourself questions about what you were doing at past times. Was I sitting here at 9 a.m.? Were I listening to music? Ask simple questions to an imaginary friend or family member. Was my mom cooking at 7 p.m.? Were my brothers playing games? Part 4. Common uses with when and while. The past continuous is often used with when and while to connect two actions in the past. When, for an interrupting action. Use simple past after when. I was sleeping when the phone rang. My sleeping was interrupted by the phone ringing. She was walking when she saw her friend. While, for two actions happening at the same time. Use past continuous after while. While I was cooking, he was reading. Both actions were happening at the same time. They were talking while they were eating. Practice tip for when and while. Make sentences about things that happened to you. I was watching TV when my power went out. My sister was studying while I was playing a game. Final, super important advice for learning past continuous tense. Remember was, were plus ing. This is the core rule. Don't forget was or were. Choose was or were correctly. I, he, she, it, is, was. You, we, they, is, were. Practice the ing form. Say many verbs with ing. Distinguish from simple past. Always ask yourself, was it a finished action, simple past, or an ongoing action at that time, past continuous? Tell stories. Use this tense to describe what you and others were doing at different points in your past stories. Listen and imitate. Pay attention to how native speakers use this tense in conversations. Be patient. It might take some practice to use it correctly with when and while, but it will make your stories much better. You are doing amazing. The past continuous tense is a powerful tool to describe more detailed past events and tell more engaging stories. Keep practicing, and you will master it. You did it. You now have a strong understanding of the past continuous tense. You learned when to use it for actions in progress in the past or interrupted actions, how to make positive sentences using was, were plus verbing, how to make negative sentences using wasn't, weren't plus verbing, how to ask questions using was, were at the beginning, and how to use it with when and while to connect actions. This tense is truly essential for telling more detailed and interesting stories about the past in English. It lets you paint a clearer picture of what was happening. Remember to practice making sentences in the past continuous tense every day. Describe what you were doing at specific times yesterday and try to use when and while in your sentences. If this guide to the past continuous tense was helpful for you, please click the like button. Share this video with your friends who also want to improve their English grammar, and please subscribe to Hidden Pages for more helpful English lessons. Don't forget to click the bell so you don't miss our next video. Keep speaking, keep learning, and keep building your amazing English skills. You are wonderful. See you next time.